Will I
I
wait
don't
for
think
that
you
to
are.
happen?
Are you having a hard time at all?
I don't think I'm having a hard time so much as like I don't turn on my brain enough to like play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll
Yeah.
get into a fight and just start smashing buttons. And full disclosure, for any prolonged period of time where I do not play the game, I immediately forget where all the buttons are on a PlayStation controller.
No,
Like,
it's like the same thing with Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom for me. I had the same issue, like trying to reload because like there's such different button schemes compared to like everything else we play.
Yeah.
So it's like it
So
takes a
whenever
while.
I end up in a dramatic clash or whatever, it's like, oh, press R1, and I'm just like, let's see, trigger, and this one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You would think I would only go after the right triggers. No, I go after all of them.
Game of the year.
There it is.
There it is. Boom.
So
You clowns. Stop talking about video games. What is this, a video game podcast? I doubt
I hope
it.
not.
Not tonight, at least. Welcome, everyone, to the Past Controller Podcast, a show where a couple of friends talk about the latest video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we take 1 week out of the month to talk about movies, and tonight's that night. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday? I don't know what today is. Saturday evening? Is today Saturday?
Yeah, we gotta work tomorrow.
You don't need to go to us to confirm.
Okay. Is of course the anime senpai himself, the one true legendary cheese, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you tonight?
Yeah,
Okay. Is your belly gonna be good drinking that drink while you got all you had was some fried rice?
Yeah, I think fried rice is enough. Is it? Oh yeah, I was like, did Brendan's camera freeze for just me, or is it anyone else? There's my answer.
There it is. We're
Mike,
a
say,
serious
I
production.
I drink one of these. Is this your first time? You've had these before, right?
I've had this before, yeah.
Dude, one of these things knocks me on my ass, and it's so weird because usually like one drink doesn't do that to me, but these things fucking hit you hard. I feel like.
I'm gonna find
Or
out.
maybe I'm just a lightweight.
Maybe fucking grow some fucking tolerance, Todd. Jesus.
Yeah, apparently.
Also joining us tonight, of course, is the fucking little drunky boy, Toddy Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
He's one drink, and he's ready to fucking cuddle up under the covers.
One drink and an edible, and I'm ready to fall asleep.
Fall asleep on the couch playing Diablo.
I fell asleep playing Final Fantasy 2 nights in a row this week with my headset on and my controller.
You fell asleep last week in an Xbox party with me and Mike.
Diablo?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
you were not moving in Diablo for like 30 minutes, and every time I was like, Mike, Todd's definitely asleep right now, you'd go, like, you'd make a noise and move your character for a second, but then you were still actually asleep. I was like, what's he doing?
I think you guys woke me up when that happened, and I would just do the random snore just to like get the laugh.
That's dedication.
Even in his sleep, he's dedicated to the bit. And then rounding us out tonight, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
Well.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm not.
So as I had mentioned, Mike, a lot of hostility. As I had mentioned just a moment ago, this is, of course, our PTC Movie Club episode for the month of June. So if you have not watched the movie BlackBerry, this is your chance to step away because we are going to chat about BlackBerry. So if you don't want that movie spoiled for you or whatever, history, I guess, yeah. You might want to take a moment to get a camera that doesn't keep fucking freezing. Jeez Louise. I'm just going to turn my camera off for a second. But yeah, so we're going to chat about that. But before we get into that, a couple of quick housekeeping things. Sorry, my camera is all messed up. This episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty, from the Salem, Massachusetts area, or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. You want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven. You can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and at Good Morning Chubby. And I promise you, you'll not be disappointed by what you see. I feel like I had some other housekeeping stuff, but we're going to just move right into it. Todd, do you know your movie club pick for July? Do you want to reveal this information?
I feel like if you want to, it could take a few minutes just to like figure out with you guys, like what you guys, I got a list of 7 movies that I mean, it's up to you if you want to go over this first and then do that or whatever.
7
Tell me.
movies.
Todd's
No,
really just got a whole list going. All right, you know what? We're gonna table it. We're gonna save it for the end of the episode. So if you want to know what the movie club pick for July is, you gotta stick around or skim through or do whatever it is you do to get that information. All right. As we do with every movie club episode, we will begin with what do we think this did in the box office with a budget of $5 million. Where do we think this landed in the box office, Michael?
Does VOD count for box office, or like is it just?
I was literally just about to ask, did this even go to theaters?
I don't even know if it did.
It did go to theaters.
It did go to theaters?
Yep.
It did go to theaters. I don't know if I forget. I kind of screwed myself that week because I went to go see Fool's Gold instead. And I don't remember if I made any effort to see where BlackBerry was playing. So, 5 million. I'm gonna go for a hopeful 9.
Okay. Mike said 9. Tom, where you at?
I'll go 2 million.
Okay, 2 million. Tom, where you at?
What was it, 5?
5 million budget.
I'm going to say 10.
Okay. All right. Well, Todd, unfortunately, is the closest with a cool box office pull of 1.6 million.
That probably had limited theater release.
Yeah, I think it wasn't it exclusive to some service when it came out?
I don't know.
I think it was. I think it was initially like a maybe not. I don't know. But yes, it did have a 50-day 7-week run in theaters.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't even think I saw a lot of marketing for it, to be honest.
No, definitely not.
I mean,
knew it was coming out because I would listen to the Always Sunny podcast and Glenn was talking about it, so I knew it existed, but I don't remember seeing it being marketed.
Yeah, I mean it's a IFC film, small budget.
Yeah,
I think it probably got a theatrical release, maybe for awards. I'm not really sure. My camera froze again. What is happening?
Just leave it like that.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to see you like moving or anything. We get the gist.
I mean, if it freezes again, I'm definitely not going to continue to do this the whole time. But, yeah. So I mean, it I don't know what I'm sorry. This camera is. I'm going to throw my camera across the wall. Now it's just straight up frozen. Oh boy. All right, we're back.
There
I think.
He is.
So yeah, not a great box office run, but I don't think this movie was intended to be like a long box office type of movie. I did read an interview though with the director, who had said that like similar types of movies, like The Social Network, had budgets of 40 million, and like they purposely wanted to make this type of movie with a low budget because they thought it was possible, which, I mean, we can get into it, but I thought the movie was fantastic. So
same. It's wild too that like as I was watching, I'm like, man, they could have made this movie so cheap. Just like, it's like a lot of shots in offices and stuff like that, like, building space. So I'm like, the whole time I was like, oh man, this probably was like, like you said, I actually thought it was going to be less than 5 million, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So there's that, and then of course,
how much of the 5 million is
Just
actors? Yeah.
No, I guarantee Glenn and those guys signed on just to get like variety of this movie. They probably like got paid bare minimum.
Well, Doug wrote it, directed it, and the actor that played Doug wrote it and directed it.
Oh, he directed it too?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I was doing stuff preparing for tonight. So, as we of course always do with these episodes, whose pick was this? Dom's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dom, what do you think this got tomato meter and audience score?
Tomato meter, I want to go like 92, and audience, I'm going to go like 86.
Okay. Todd, what about you?
Brendan's frozen.
90.
Yeah, I'm frozen again. It's staying like this.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was coming, so I like put my head back in the center of the screen, and then it fucking froze. Sorry, what'd you say, Todd?
95, 90.
95, 90. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I also know it was in the 90s because I remember again when Fool's Gold came out, it was like polar opposites in terms
Yeah,
of
right.
like Fool's Gold got fucking thrashed, and people were like, "Oh, and BlackBerry was actually really good." What was Dom said 90? What did Dom say? 93,
I think I
92,
said 92.
9286.
and Todd, you said 95.
95, 90.
All right, well, all right, I'll just thread the needle there. I guess I'm gonna go with 93 and 93, 88.
All right. And you guys just keep fucking giving it to Todd with these things. It is
That's fucking good.
98, 93.
Wait, 98?
98 tomato, 93 audience. People love
Wow.
this movie. And I will tell you, I have a feeling we're going to join those ranks, the four of us. This might be the first time
shit.
ever that we
Oh,
all
shit,
like the movie.
I picked a movie Brenden likes.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
wow.
Is this the first time that someone has picked a movie that all four of us have liked?
This might be the first time that any of us have picked a movie that you like.
No,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
incorrect.
it's
Mike
like
has
the nice
definitely
movie,
Mike
the
has
nice
definitely
guys.
picked a movie I liked.
I think we all like The Nice Guys, right?
I did.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like the
yeah.
Nice Guys. I think if I remember correctly, I think my biggest complaint with the Nice Guys was it was too long. Because it was pretty
Okay.
long,
How
wasn't
do
it?
you
Wasn't it a
follow
long
my-
movie?
I can't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was long. How did you feel about my Nolan picks? I forget because I did a couple Nolan picks. I forget how you felt.
I don't know what
Prestige?
I don't know what those
Prestige
movies
and
are.
Memento.
Yeah.
I don't remember. They were fine, I think.
There you go.
I don't
there
know.
You go. That's your answer right there.
There's an answer. Yep.
I feel like there was probably something else that I enjoyed that someone picked. Probably not Todd.
Oh, Prisoner.
Yeah, Prisoners.
Hereditary.
You loved Swingers, if I recall correctly.
Did I love Swingers? I think I had some gripes with Swingers. But I don't hate it
said it
though.
was
I think
Best
he
movie
liked
you've seen in,
Swingers,
like,
but it was
20
too long.
No,
You know
that
what
was
it
no way. That was a long movie.
It was Gross Point Blank.
That's that's
No,
what you
I
say
did
about-
not like
that's
Gross
what you-
Point Blank. That movie
That's what you
was
say about
whatever.
every movie. So
No, this movie wasn't
You're
long.
talking
I
about-
honestly, this is a rare occasion where I was like, "Fuck, I kind of want more of this movie." They could have dropped another fucking 25 on me.
Yeah, this movie was a cool 2 hours. So
It blew by. It blew by. I took a break in the middle too, not because I wanted to, but I was like in the middle of doing something else, and I came back and I was like, "Oh man, I only have like 45 minutes left. I'm so sad."
yeah, sometimes I
Pacing-
break these movies
the
up into
pacing
2
at the
days.
end of the movie was weird.
So
Yeah.
there's like two things with this movie's pacing. It's like it felt like the first kind of half of the movie was very Glenn Howerton focused, and then the back half of the movie was very Jay focused. And I think Glenn Howerton fucking acted his ass off in this movie, and I
He
was
was so
kind of
good.
sad when it was less
so
of him
good.
in the back half of the movie because, I mean, for obvious plot reasons. Last chance, if you're still listening and didn't fucking watch the movie, this is your last chance. But I guess overall we can get right into it. I mean, can we just definitively say all four of us like this movie? Like we're all feeling good about it, or does anyone have like overall negative feeling about this film?
Oh, no complaints.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm really glad Don picked it because it's a movie I wanted to see, but at the same time, I probably would have never watched it because I don't know. It just probably would have snuck through the cracks.
Yeah,
You know, it's
I
just-
also I feel the same way as you. Like I was like, oh, like interesting cast. Oh, so the writer director, like I love that dude from a fucking Nirvana the band.
He's in a ton of
Nirvana the band of the show. Like that's what I know him from. Which Dom, that's like way up your alley. You would fucking love it. Like
I haven't watched it.
you should probably watch it.
What's it on?
I don't know at this point. You might have to buy it. Actually, it might be that
What's
like.
it on the internet, I suppose?
I think when I watched it on YouTube. I don't know if it's still on YouTube. You might have to purchase it or somewhere. But it is. I mean, you've probably all at the bare minimum have seen the clip where they sing the We Shop Channel song.
Oh, it's that dude?
That's that dude.
Really? Now it all makes sense. But he's from other stuff too, though. But that's crazy that that's the same dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's him and another dude. I think that wrote that show. It's like the other like main cast star in it. Which I wonder if they're not friends or something because I'm surprised that guy didn't show up in this movie. I feel like that would have been an easy little plug and play as a programmer in the background or something at the bare minimum. So
Continue. This thing that I'm looking at says that he was in it, but hold on.
Oh, maybe he was just in the background. Oh my god, it froze again.
Yeah, it froze again. We might have to go backup camera.
No.
Doug
that camera's
reminded me of
trash.
this dude from comedy shows, like a sketch comedy. I can't remember what it is, but like he reminds me of someone. And
He kind of reminded me of someone too. I can't place it right now.
I feel like he's in like Grandma's Boy or something, like someone like from one of those movies, like not like a big name movie, but like
Matt
but he's
Johnson.
definitely
Let's
not.
see.
I'm looking him up right
No.
now, and I'm not seeing anything.
BlackBerry, Anne at 1,300 feet, 13,000 feet, Deuce, Spice It Up, Nirvana the Band, the show, Operation Avalanche, How Heavy This Hammer, Diamond Tongues of the Dirties, Cosmotive Inc., The Revenge Plot, and Nirvana the Band, the show.
Yeah, I don't like. I know I don't know him from anything else, but he does remind me of somebody that I cannot.
It's just going to be from the Wii Shop channel that I've watched like 1,000 times. So
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
And honestly, it might just be the headband that he wore the entire time that just made an aesthetic that made me think of somebody else.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he looks like Will Ferrell in
Semi-pro.
yes, Semi-Pro.
I was actually thinking of fuck. Why can't I think of his name now? The guy in Eastbound and Down.
Danny McBride.
Yeah, there it is.
So, wow, I don't know if there has ever been a movie we've picked that it has just been like how do we all feel about this overall, and it's all just been like, yeah, it was good, we liked it.
Yeah, because normally you hate movies.
yeah, you're usually the only one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
there's
it
been
is
plenty of
usually.
movies that other people have not enjoyed. So I don't want
Yes,
to.
but I feel like the
I
majority.
don't know if there's been a movie where 3 out of 4 have all said they've liked it sweepingly, and
Well,
I'm the
Memento.
outlier. I didn't dislike Memento.
I mean, I can say for a fact that 3 of us sweepingly like that film.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I think I probably sweepingly liked it. It might have just been too long, but you know.
Yeah, of course.
That's a good. I should make a T-shirt that just says, "Yeah, I like the movie. It's just too long."
I want to see Brian's Letterbox account where he just rates every movie. Every movie gets dinged like 2 stars at bare
Could've been
minimum.
3 minutes
It's too
shorter.
long.
Could have been
It's
3
just-
minutes short. Yeah.
It's just all like Disney films, like an hour and 20 minutes. That's all the 5 stars.
Brenden gave like a glowing review to The Emperor's New Groove because it was like an hour and 10 minutes.
I don't love that movie the
wrapped
way
up
that
quickly.
people seem to love that movie. Like it's fine. Anyways, we're not. This isn't an Emperor New Groove fucking episode. So, wow, just can't win. I think what's happening right now is I think something's going wrong with in Discord with my camera. I think Discord is like
Put your camera
Doing-
in the race.
I don't. That's. Imagine if Todd worked at a tech company. Like, imagine if Todd was like somehow worked at a tech company, and every time someone had any issue, he just
would be Doug. He would just
Yeah,
no,
would be
because
completely useless and have movie nights.
Doug
That
could
would-
act,
that would be-
but it seemed like Doug could actually fucking goad and do stuff. Todd would just walk around going like, "Dude, put it in,
I don't
toss it
know
in
if he
rice."
Did though.
yeah, that was the weird thing about the movie's portrayal of Doug, and I think it's a combination of just what the movie needed, and also because Matt was acting, directing,
sometimes,
and
yeah.
wrote, so like maybe he just kind of gave himself less stuff to do. But I was never really clear on what Doug brought to the table, other than just being like just a good energy to have around. But for the business, I don't know what he did.
So, yeah, and I guess if at any point, I don't know if did any of you like look into the differences between like the actual history of
little bit.
RIN and BlackBerry and what has
RIM.
happened, yeah, RIM, in this movie. So Doug's character, or I guess Matthew Johnson's portrayal of Doug, is apparently like probably the most not tied to this like actual person. Like it's very
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was like the most
So-
realistic.
It was the
so.
most accurate.
From
If
what I read about the guy, I wonder if he like didn't sign on to have his likeness brought to film, because he like took a payout like pretty early in like them getting bought apparently.
Yeah, I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was him. There's like no recorded interviews of that guy. Like, he doesn't talk about this at all. So a lot of what they had to go off of was from from like other people at the company. Fucking Navi's just gonna be my fucking picture today. Other people at the company, and they were basically saying like the character in the movie is essentially just a fictional character. It's not really what Doug did or how Doug acted. But on the movie side of things, like, yeah, I think they used that character as like, oh, it's the friend, he cares, but like his main thing is like the company culture, like trying to protect like people's fucking sanity and happiness. And that continues to like get more difficult as, you know, the company grows, and fucking Jim Balsillie like brings in other people and brings in like that COO, Charles Purdy, to essentially like, it definitely seems once like Charles Purdy comes on board that it's like turns into a much more like crunch culture in that workplace, where it's like, oh no, you're gonna get this done by Friday, or you're gonna do this, or you're gonna stay late, you're gonna do all these things, whatever. So yeah, I think with that, and then so I also read like some excerpts from Jim Balsillie, who apparently, according to the thing I was reading, Jim Balsillie is the only one that has seen the movie. I mean, obviously we don't know if Doug has seen the movie because he doesn't do media stuff, but apparently Mike Lazaridis has not watched the film. But Jim Balsillie went to like the premiere and had like a private showing. But he also said that like it's a pretty blown out of proportion like portrayal of him as well, where like he's like, I don't think I was like, he's like, you know, I want to do this and this, but like some of these things are definitely like, you know, Hollywood being Hollywood. And then I was reading another thing from another employee that worked there that was talking about like how accurate it was to what was really going on and like what's different. Because I think the other thing is there's a book written about like the company, about BlackBerry and RIM. So like they pulled from the book too for a lot of stuff.
I think the title said that the film was based off the book.
Okay, yeah, probably. So,
and I'm sure if you asked Zuckerberg, that his movie was all blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the case with like any of these things. Like they're trying to make entertainment too at the end of the day, and like if they just making a straight up like biopic or like a documentary.
I almost feel like I'm obligated now to watch both Air and Tetris, because I think those are all in like the same ballpark.
Yeah.
And maybe what was the Cheeto movie that came out just now too?
Flamin' Hot.
Flamin' Hot, yeah.
Flamin' Hot, I believe, is on Amazon, correct?
I think Flamin' Hot's on Hulu.
I think
Flamin' Hot's on Hulu. Air is on Amazon. Tetris is on Apple. So
there you go.
That's the world we live in.
Run on the gamut.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Like to echo what Todd said earlier, like Glenn Howerton, I think he's funny. Matt Johnson, you know, I think he's funny. Jay Baruchel is always pretty funny. I mean, it has other people in it like ProZD and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this like it has people that I enjoy stuff they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd ever go out of my way to watch it. So I am glad that Dom picked this. And I like, outside of knowing those cast members and knowing that this was a movie about BlackBerry, I didn't really. I was like, yeah, I'll just watch it when I watch it. I don't need to look up more about this movie. The way the movie is filmed, which I think works fucking perfectly for this movie, it is filmed like it is a mockumentary. Like the camera is like feels like it's like there's someone in there filming it, and it fucking works so well for this movie. And they play with you at the beginning of the movie when fucking Jim Balsillie pulls into his parking space at the beginning of the movie. He looks in his rearview mirror and he looks at the camera, but he's looking at like the people behind him, and it looks like it was such like a weird little touch that I was like, oh, this is really like, I enjoyed that stupid scene for whatever.
Yeah, I think there was an episode of the Always Sunny podcast where specifically Glenn and Charlie were talking about their individual films, and I think Glenn had talked about how they filmed the movie, and they had to do something specific to get that mockumentary feel. Like they didn't have someone with the camera kind of shaking around. They had to film a certain way so that way in post they could add that kind of shake to it. If I remember correctly, I could be talking at my fucking butthole here, but
Yeah. Like it's not even just the shake. It's like a shake, like quick zoom in, quick zoom out to like frame the like it just works really well. Like it fits the movie like and that's me saying like I don't need the movie to be a mockumentary. I think the movie was fantastic, but the style of cinematography fit it so well.
Some of the shots felt less like mockumentary and more like you were in the room with them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's probably a better way to put it.
Not necessarily a mockumentary, but like you are spectating history.
Yes.
Like, you're in the room with
Yeah.
them when.
Yeah, because there's no like a side interview type things at all. So it's really just that like style of shaky cam that you associate with mockumentary stuff.
It's funny because this movie soundtrack is basically like one of those soundtracks. I'm like, oh, it's like they have my iPhone on shuffle right now. Because every song is like classic songs from when I was growing up, and I was like, oh, I love this song. I love this song. You know.
I don't
that's
even.
what they do with period pieces.
I don't even remember the music in the movie.
Me either.
It just like it literally just blended in so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
It does.
There's like no standout. Like
I don't think I could tell you a song that was in this movie.
I remember in the moment when I was watching it, I thought, "Oh, this is a good song. I like the song." Blah 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 blah. Or even in that beginning, the opening credits scene, they were showing a bunch of just.
They did Connection by Alaska, I believe, at the opening. I could be wrong.
But they were showing just television clips and news clips from around that period of time. It was through a stretch because I think it was showing like Inspector Gadget stuff, which is early 80s up until like Power Rangers stuff and early.
They were showing all like the history of the cell phone. I think.
Oh yeah, they were that was largely it. Yeah, it was largely just that kind of stuff.
I was telling Mike, and no more than I was telling him earlier. The more that I'm thinking about it now, it actually I think is a backhanded strength to the movie. I was saying to Mike like, without knowing the true like difference with history or whatever compared to the movie or whatnot, I feel like there was at no point where I was rooting for anyone. Like I wasn't like we obviously all know what happens to BlackBerry. Well, actually, maybe we don't know everything that happened to BlackBerry. I just assume BlackBerry went out of business. They are still in business, and they are like a software company.
Yeah, they went the Sega route.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, oh my goodness. I just assumed the company went out of business, or they like got bought and they used them for something else or whatever. But like I was never rooting for anyone. Like I wasn't like maybe that's incorrect. I was happy to see like Glenn Howerton's character come in, and even though you don't maybe not necessarily like want to root for him, it was good for him to like help them get their money from fucking Robotics of America or whatever the fuck it was called.
That first scene when he's in the office and he's on the phone and he just looks at him and goes, shut up. You know, like he just melts it. He doesn't even say it. I was like, oh, it's so good. He is like emboldens that type of dude, and like he just did it so well. I just looked up a picture of the guy he did do, and he looks kind of like Glenn Howerton. Like side by side picture, and they both have that like
he probably looks the closest. If you look at who all of the people look, they don't look like them.
Lazaridis
really.
Doesn't look anything like Jade does in this movie. And his hair was like I was so confused
when he went full white.
Literally had to look up like how old he was. I was like, is this a 60-year-old guy like trying to get a tech started up? Like, what is going on?
I think the age of them in the movie is actually younger than the age of how old the people were when they were really doing it too. I think like they were much older. But yeah, so like I was saying to Mike, I don't feel like I was really ever rooting for anyone in this movie, and I wasn't like, I don't want to say it's not a happy ending. Like we know this is not a thing about like, oh, this is the thing that maybe couldn't have worked, and then it worked, and then it was around forever, and it's this big thing, and it's like, no, like this is the rise and fall of this company that existed.
We all knew that Apple was the one that like was going to be their downfall. I'm assuming, right? Before starting the movie.
I mean, yeah. I knew that.
I mean, at that time in 2007, I don't know if like everyone felt that way, but I mean, like that's very clear what ultimately killed BlackBerry. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I would say that I think when Mike went to was it still Bell Atlantic at the time, or was it Verizon?
Verizon.
It was Verizon at the
beginning.
At the beginning it was Bell Atlantic.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Bell Atlantic turns into Verizon. I just didn't remember if that's what they were at the time. Because like even when what's his face, when they were talking about the iPhone, they're talking about Singular. I was like, oh yeah, I remember Singular. So when he was trying to downplay the iPhone and calling it, it's basically a toy, it's just a big screen. But I feel like that was like a
That was the
popular
pushback.
sentiment.
Yeah, that was the pushback. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you have to look at too, like BlackBerry, like they primarily built their business model around enterprise. Like they built it around selling it to businesses because it was an email focused, machine. But I mean that's ultimately what. Sure. I mean, aside from touchscreen, aside from App Store, aside from music, which I think were also huge reasons why like it became a much bigger deal. It was, I mean, the iPhone and smartphones would eventually also be able to do all of those things a BlackBerry can do anyway. So.
Yeah. I don't. Now I'm interested in maybe the book or a more accurate description of what happened with it, because I do like technology, so I'd like to see fucking Monday morning quarterbacking, whatever it is.
So
this is where we drop the ball.
Where did the Sidekick fit in?
Sidekick came out before the iPhone.
Yes.
We had them in high school.
Yeah, who made Sidekick?
The company, I'm trying to remember, because I believe it was a T-Mobile exclusive. The company was,
I think it might have been Motorola.
I thought it was Motorola too.
I love my BlackBerry.
It might be, but I don't think it was.
I loved my BlackBerry because like that's the last phone I've had that like iPhone
Danger
still
Inc.
Danger Inc.
The Danger hip top, also rebranded as the T-Mobile Sidekick, Mobi Flip, and Sharp Jump, is a smartphone that was produced by Danger Inc.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But it was just them trying to get into the BlackBerry business.
I think that was them smartly seeing that there was because I feel like that one went primarily to our age group and maybe a little bit older.
I mean, Sidekick was out in 2002.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's 5 years before iPhone.
Exactly. So that it was smartly hit, like, target our, like, having fucking instant messenger on that thing was
yeah.
big.
I mean, essentially, Sidekick was a youth targeted BlackBerry, like for the closest type of
It was BlackBerry competition.
Yeah, but for just a different demographic.
I couldn't even call it like full on competition.
I don't think I knew anyone our age that had a BlackBerry. My dad had a BlackBerry. I had one. My dad had a Palm Pilot at one point and a BlackBerry.
I was just saying too that like the BlackBerry was the last decent phone I had where it's like it was very easy to just type, because I feel like the iPhone it's like still not easy to type. I feel like it's just like I always have like misspelled shit.
Todd's old.
You gotta use two thumbs.
Todd's old.
Try it with your thumbs.
Try it with your thumbs.
Yeah, right?
I did look up like some of the stuff that's different in the movie. And I did like an abridged lookup of what's different from the movie in reality. The timeline of certain things is not accurate in the movie. Like certain things came out at different points and certain whatever. And probably one of the bigger things that's different from reality in the movie is that Mike is actually the one that like watched the Steve Jobs iPhone presentation and went to Jim about it, saying like, this is a problem. Like we need to like, they still were like, oh, he still thought they would shoot themselves in the foot because it was an AT&T exclusive and he thought that their network wouldn't be able to handle what the iPhone was saying it could do. And I'm trying to remember because I did have an iPhone in 2007. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember if I ever had like service issues with it. I mean, it had plenty of other issues, but I don't remember if it had
I
service
didn't
issues.
get an iPhone because it was only on AT&T to start out.
I mean, that's the wild thing that I kind of forgot was even a fucking thing at one point, where it was like cell phones were exclusive to places.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
even now, for instance, I was like interested. I don't think I would actually bother getting it for other reasons, but when they brought back the Motorola Razr recently, a couple of years ago,
right?
it was an exclusive to some network that I don't have. I want to say AT&T. It might have been Verizon.
Yeah.
So
I
they
mean,
still do it, but it's not as prevalent.
Yeah, I mean, they do it with like I would argue Razer Motorola is like that's a niche play at trying to like get certain people to buy that.
Yes, it's niche in the sense that, you know, foldable screens now are not blowing up, and it was just a play at, hey, nostalgia for this brand name.
Well, I guess this you would probably know out of all four of us, because I've had an iPhone since 2007, and I still have an iPhone. So I don't pay attention to other smartphones. Are there other smartphones that are exclusive to somewhere?
That's the only one I can think of offhand. There are definitely other ones, like, yes, in the sense that there are other Android maybe models or manufacturers who might do something. I would say you're much more likely to bump into a phone that is region specific. Like there are phones that are coming out now that only release in China or some other Asian market, or sometimes India, Europe, and you can't get it here. Or if you try getting it here, it won't work on our networks because they're using a different wireless frequency.
Interesting. So yeah, that was like one of the big changes. There were other people at BlackBerry that had thought like, oh, this is gonna destroy us. But I don't think it was like as big a concern. Like, it was definitely different people in the movie than in real life that were concerned about it than it was the other way around.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I read too was that like him buying a hockey team was also not a fully real story.
He tried to buy a couple different teams at different times,
but not move it to Canada or whatever.
No,
there was something. He was. Okay.
I think he was trying to move. I think it was a different team that was trying to move to Canada. That was the thing. So in the movie, I think it was the Penguins.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way in 2007 he was moving the Penguins.
I wonder if they just chose the Penguins because is that where Glenn's from? Is he from? Like, does he like
Glenn's
the Penguins?
From Alabama.
Oh, why did I think?
Alabama.
I thought they were all from Pennsylvania. Are any of them from Pennsylvania?
Only Rob McElhenney is from Pennsylvania. Charlie Day's from Rhode Island.
Oh, actually, I did know Charlie Day was from Rhode Island. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I think the movie was fucking really good, and I think Glenn Howerton was so fucking like so good to watch. Like, I'm happy that it was an embellished for.
I liked him.
Yeah,
like, he shouldn't have been the likable guy in that movie, and he was hands down the best part of that movie.
Yeah,
I think it's just because he was so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, some of the shit that was going on in the movie, I would look at it and be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, well, obviously that's the way I would react. Like,
yeah. And again,
you'd only get that high up in corporate society by just playing straight like that.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah. And I again, like, I think perfect pairing of the cinematography, because I think it really continued to lend to like the drama and comedy in the scenes of like, you really do feel like you're in that office, just like you're a background employee. You're like watching like, damn, Mike's getting fucking screamed at right now. Like you always felt like you were there. It worked really fucking well.
Yeah. Dom, I don't know if you ever watched that video I sent you, but that's where that vampire line came from, because I was confused about that at the time. It was a video. I sent you a video the other day
when he's in the NHL like shareholders room or whatever. He said,
like,
the boardroom.
Yeah, he says,
I'm from Waterloo. I'm a vampire or something.
Yeah, from Waterloo. That's where the fucking vampires hang out. I guess that line came from that video I sent you.
From that video. Okay, yes, I've seen that guy before. Yeah,
I've never seen it before. I was
You've
just
never
trying to
seen that guy before. Oh yeah.
No, I was trying.
Yeah,
to make
what is the origin? Because I also didn't know. I didn't understand that line. I was just like, that was very bizarre.
There's a street interview. I don't know why. I don't know what she was interviewing the guy for, because he literally did not take the prompt at all. But it's like a girl doing an interview, I imagine for like a YouTube thing. It didn't seem like
Yeah.
she was doing it for the news. But
Yeah.
she like interviews this guy, and he just goes off on some deranged tangent. And one of the things he says is like,
He's like, I'm from Waterloo, where the vampires hang out.
yeah.
Interesting.
Uh,
What like when that clip came out and when the events of this movie take place, like could that be an actual thing that this character could have said?
I don't know, because the clip, when I was looking at the time on the clip, it said 2012. I don't know if the clip was recorded earlier than that, but it's a.
I mean, it's not from the early 2000s.
Well, I mean, so I believe one of the attempts to buy the hockey team was around 2006-ish, which, to be fair, YouTube was really opened up in 2006, 2007, I think. So I'm not ruling anything out, but I think so. The other thing is that Matt, what's his last name?
Matt Johnson.
Matt Johnson. He is from Canada, and
Jay Baruchel's from Canada too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things in here that make a lot more sense. Not make a lot more sense, but there are references and things there that, if you're Canadian, resonate more. And I think that might be one of those things where he took something that big in Canada. I don't know.
I'm petitioning for Glenn to be fucking, what's his name from the
Lex
Fantastic
Luthor?
Four. Reed, yeah,
Oh,
one of those guys.
Reed
Give him some, get him Reed, get him fucking something on, get him in.
Oh, make him
Because he
Doom.
tried out for Captain America. That's what I'm saying. Make him Doctor Doom.
Actually, I'm saying this now, as a joke and one mojito mule in, but I would watch that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I just want. Whoa.
All right, this is like a 3-minute video. I can't watch that right now. I was trying to skim through it to hear him say it.
What if we just got the cast of Sunny as Fantastic Four
Fantastic
villains?
Four.
Probably be the best
No,
thing.
Fantastic Four villains.
Villains, just villains. So
Danny
DeVito as Mole Man.
Mole Man, of course. Let's see. Who's a good female villain for the Fantastic Four? Who could Kate play?
Fantastic Four.
Steak. Yeah. And then Charlie could be.
We'll have to loop back
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. Next week we'll come back with our perfect casting for Fantastic Four villains played by the Always Sunny cast.
There was one scene. I think it was the first time that Jim sits down with, or not the first time. It's when they sit down to eat after their first meeting in his office, and like they turn the deal down because of Matt or Doug, and he walks out and he like looks at him and he goes, "What's up with all that sass? He's just a sassy man." Like he has like a whole monologue about how sassy he is, and I fucking lost it. I was dying.
And then Jay does a line that he just said. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, I had to keep up."
I have to sass, but he sasses back.
Oh, it was so good. There's so many good little things. Like I think it was in the trailer too, but I think it's when the guy from Google and ProZD are also eating, and he's like, "So how much are they paying you?" Oh, I don't really think. I shouldn't say. They're paying me $10 million. Oh, me too.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like dumb shit. It was so good.
The guy from Google was the
Wait,
one
ProZD's the fucking YouTube guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun Wan Cho,
I
yeah.
knew he looked familiar.
Yeah.
The guy from Google was
he was in Mad Men. He was in other things.
He did look
was
familiar
in the
too.
office. He was in the office. He was the one that was
No.
in Pam's art class that was trying
Oh
to
yeah,
keep.
yeah. He was the one in Pam's art classes. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, he is. Oh my
I thought you were
goodness.
gonna say the IT guy, but yes, you're right. He's
No, the IT guy's from fucking New Girl, Mike.
new girl. Yeah, listen, I know who it is.
Oh, I was gonna say bring up the scene after Mike calls and gets Jim to like he calls and like they do this whole like back and forth of like him trying out like, all right, like you're gonna talk him like we're gonna like
Yeah.
talk him down to like the price, and he just goes straight with the price. And
Yeah.
afterwards, he's like, he got him, and the kid's like, what?
Yeah, it's so good.
You haven't been listening this whole time?
Um, I guess two other things I wanted to bring up, and then if anyone else has anything they want to bring up, we can ride this thing out. So, I mentioned this to Mike earlier too. There's like the beginning scene where Mike is like ultra fixated on technology that's made in China. And he like puts a paperclip and fixes that intercom thing. And then, you know, whatever. They don't really ever bring that up again throughout the movie except for his resistance to wanting to manufacture in China, which is maybe why they like brought that up in the beginning to show that he's like adverse to that for whatever reason. And then the true history of BlackBerry having the final BlackBerry having manufacturing problems and almost all of them being recalled kind of like ends with the China thing. And I don't know, I just felt like a weird, like, why are we trying to like so aggressively make this Chinese point?
There was a dialogue at some point that Mike brought up, I think, to Jim in the office, in the original office. And he talks about how he fixes the intercom when Jim sets up his intercom in the office. In their RIM office.
Yeah.
Like when he puts the secretary outside and he like comes back in and they're sitting there and he has like the intercom on his desk and it's buzzing again.
Yeah.
While Mike's fixing it, he talks about how like, yeah, like the reason that all these things buzz is that they're all made in China and it like, because they're mass produced, like it's missing like a certain component, so they just come over here and they're all fucking missing this component, so they all buzz. He's like, I'm not letting BlackBerry be that.
Yeah.
So essentially, like all product that comes from China is it's not like hands on. I guess it's all just mass produced, and if it has one problem in one thing, all of them have that problem.
Yeah. Which like I don't know. I understand that, but like I was trying, like, fucking iPhone's made in China. Like so many things are made in China. That's why, like, I was like, it's a weird, like, it felt like the movie was blaming BlackBerry's downfall on them deciding to manufacture the final BlackBerry in China.
I think the movie was saying that there was a lot of things that led to the downfall, but one of the final things
was
Jim essentially changing his own moral stance.
Mike.
Yes. Oh yeah, Mike initially changing his moral stance.
That was also what I got was like the company was at a point where like Mike couldn't do it on his own anymore, and he
made that compromise. He made that concession.
He made the concession that we're gonna do something else, and so like they were no longer BlackBerry at that point almost.
Yeah.
He had his morals of like where BlackBerry would be, and he gave up on that moral, and that's like the turn.
Final nail.
Yeah.
The final nail in the coffin.
I guess I get that. That makes more sense. I think. It felt like weird. I was like, what? Like that's like a weird way to end the movie. Especially again because like unless I don't know what I'm talking about, the first iPhone was also made in China. I'm pretty sure. So.
The movie didn't end like that. The movie ended with him opening all the boxes and trying to fix them all like one by one.
Yeah, which was I'm curious if that was.
I doubt that was.
I'm sure that was a fabrication. that was essentially showing like he like gave into his morals and then came back to bite him in the ass. But he was like, I don't know, still
trust your gut.
I also kind of like someone I was after I watched the movie, I started reading comments and stuff about the film. I was reading stuff, and someone made the point that in that first movie night, I think, when you go back to the RIM offices or RIM, I think they just call them RIM, but whatever. They're watching Raiders of the Lost Ark, and now at the end of the movie, it's him with a bunch of boxes, almost like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's pretty good.
It's his favorite movie, Mike.
Yeah.
I think that's what Matt says. I think that's what Doug says to me. He goes, "You're not even watching your favorite movie," because he was making the prototype.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to bring up too was like when right before Jim gets turned into the SEC, the conversation him and Mike have in Mike's office is like sort of anticlimactic. Like it seems like, I don't know, he should have been more angry, or like Mike. I mean, you can just say what you said to me earlier, Mike. But Mike had a thought on why he thinks the scene went that way.
The scene played off almost as if Jim went through a few different emotions, but one of the final things was kind of almost being proud of Mike for kind of doing a cutthroat businessy type of decision like that.
He finally stood up for himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially because like the beginning of Jim's relationship with Mike is Jim sticking up for Mike with Robotics of America or whatever the fuck that company was called.
U.S. Robotics.
U.S. Robotics.
And you gotta love that, like, as long as you got money, you can get away with anything. If it was for us, so we were in jail, you know, like fucking like you got that money, you're gonna get away with that shit. I know they said like the stuff was encrypted and there was probably fucking ways for them to figure out how to.
Well, so that was another one of the things that I had read in the like reality versus the movie. It seems like some of the stuff that they were saying we're gonna, you know, get him in trouble, put him in jail for the things he did. I think some of the I think the way that the things he did in the movie are punished in real life are not the same. Like there was ways basically around what they were doing, which again is probably illegal. It sounded like, based on what I was reading, it still sounded illegal, but it also like it sounds like for certain things, at least in the movie, they had to consult lawyers, so they had to like, you know, they had to be careful with what they said and didn't say because it's like based on real people and real events and stuff. So it sounds like they had to like probably make that stuff a certain way in the movie because it handled real life people that did, you know, probably illegal things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did need to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, going back to that conversation, rise and fall of BlackBerry kind of situation. Jim walks into the office and says, "I'll only do this if you make me CEO," and continues throughout the conversation to keep calling himself CEO. And Mike keeps going, or Doug keeps going, co-CEO, co-CEO. And at the end, Mike makes a CEO decision, and it's essentially like, okay, Mike's gonna be CEO, so like, it's no longer the BlackBerry that was like started at that point.
Yeah.
Manager and co-manager, co-manager and co-manager.
They another one of the, which again, like, I don't know why they. I actually, so did any of you look into why they actually called it the BlackBerry? Because it is not because he dropped a BlackBerry in his shirt.
Of a BlackBerry stand.
Yeah. So you know the reason why?
I didn't look it up, but I was like, there's no way that's why they call it.
Because that was one of the burning questions in the beginning of the movie for me. I was like, I'm curious why they call this the BlackBerry, because that's like just it doesn't. That's not a name that I don't think of like a piece of technology when you think that. Does anyone know their actual answer?
Just like I don't think of Apple and fucking apples.
Yeah. So no one looked it up. No one knows the answer.
I didn't look it up. It was something that I probably knew in the past, but I definitely don't.
I mean, the explanation for it does make sense, and I actually appreciate the name even more with the explanation. But before I even say that, I will say that the first few iterations of the BlackBerry were not called the BlackBerry. They had other names, and I think they were branded as RIM phones. So like that was one of the timeline things that's different. The BlackBerry like did not start as the BlackBerry; it got named later. And I will say,
makes sense. I just googled it.
Does make sense. It does make sense. Yeah. I will say though, like one of their working names for the phone was a SmartLink or a PocketLink, and I liked that name. I thought that was a good name.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good too.
Like I did not hate that name. But basically, so they initially were going back and forth between BlackBerry and Strawberry, and they went with BlackBerry because the person that pitched the name BlackBerry was like, the buttons on the keyboard look like a BlackBerry, like it looks like a BlackBerry skin, like kind of little protrusions or whatever. So I don't know, I liked it. It makes sense, I think. So I thought that was funny. Does anyone else have
Yeah.
anything else they want to say about this film?
No, I don't think so. I wanted to make at some point while I was watching the film, I was thinking to myself, okay, Sigmund Freud, we got the ego, the super ego, and the id, and Jim is the id, which makes the other two guys ego and super ego. I never got much further than that, but I'm sure someone could make that connection for me. Not one of you three. You three are dum-dums, but somebody.
I'll have to think about that. I'll noodle on it later. I think I can figure it out. I'm looking at, so this year so far we have watched, since we are now at the middle point of the year, we have watched Willow, Creep, Peanut Butter Falcon, A Scanner Darkly, Manchester by the Sea, and now BlackBerry. Looking at those films, and maybe it's the recency bias, I think BlackBerry might be the best one out of those 6 for me. I think it might be. I think I enjoyed it the most.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that was, I'll be honest, that was a fucking weak lineup. I mean, Manchester by the Sea? What the fuck were we thinking?
I liked Manchester by the Sea. A little long, but, goes without saying.
Brenden wants every movie to be a tight 45 minutes long.
Listen, I think everyone should have a tight 15, you know what I mean? Like, you got to have a tight 15 ready to go. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. What about Dom and Todd? Best film out of those 6 so far? Is it the best film of the first half of the year?
Willow,
Creep, Peanut Butter Falcon, Scanner Darkly,
Falcon.
Manchester.
Yeah, I'm probably that in Manchester.
I'm surprised Brenden didn't like Creep because that movie was like, what, 20 minutes long? I forget.
Yeah.
No, that movie was like an hour and 40 minutes.
It was?
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
Oh, well.
Was it that long?
I didn't hate Creep. That's not me saying Dom picked Creep too. Like, I didn't hate Creep though. Like, we've definitely watched movies that I've not liked, and Creep is like a higher up on that part of the list. That makes me excited.
Hour and 17.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. What did I say, an hour and 40? Hour and 17?
Yeah.
Too long. The end of Creep, I still think of that noise, and it fucking fucks me up. That noise does not do me any favors.
Actor director. Maybe that's my thing this year.
Oh shit, Dom's doing actor directors. It's not terrible.
Ooh.
I'm waiting for Todd to pick all Marty movies, and we gotta watch fucking 7-hour movies.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna pick like any of them. Because I would pick The Irishman if I was going to pick any of them.
I don't want to go off. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I don't. We need to wrap things up. I don't. But Todd brought something up to me the other day, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. Martin Scorsese is one of those people that's like Mr. Cinema, like protect cinema. All these things are negative to cinema. This motherfucker keeps making Netflix movies. He's not cinema. Am I incorrect?
No. It's his venue.
Why?
I think.
What's his other?
It's been Netflix.
Other Netflix movie?
Doesn't he making a new Netflix movie? Isn't that one with Brad Pitt or whatever?
No, it's like 3.5 hours too. It's 3 hours and.
Is it going to Netflix? I didn't.
Or it's a streaming movie, I think.
Yes, it's Netflix.
Yeah. So he's got.
Doing it probably because of the. I'm assuming it's going to be a runtime thing because I don't think these movies would fare well in theaters. To be honest with you, maybe I don't. I'm just speaking out of my ass, but I'm that's like the only justifiable way I could think that he's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, the justifiable thing is, it's do your box office thing or get a fucking paycheck from Netflix. Like what?
So, no, what he does, like what they do with those Netflix movies too, they release them in the theaters for like 15 days.
But that's just for like, yeah, that's just for award consideration. I don't give a fuck about that. They're not making money off that.
Yeah, it is funny though. Like that, I don't think that's like a out of the pocket statement. I think it does make a lot of sense. I'm surprised more people don't bring that up.
It is weird to me. I never thought about that until you said it to me. So before we reveal anything else anyone wants to say about,
let me see how long it is.
About BlackBerry. We good on BlackBerry? We've moved on.
Yeah.
So good movie. Good movie. Before we reveal Todd's pick for July and play the movie game, you can of course Well, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 376. You can support us in a bunch of different ways. The free ways to do that are subscribing to us on your podcast platform of choice if you don't already. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to the show. It's very beneficial. It's one of the biggest ways you can help us is by simply leaving us a 5-star review, writing something nice real quick. It really goes a long way. If you have a few bucks kicking around, you want to help support the show, you can go to patreon.com/PassTheController, become a patron. You can go to twitch.tv/PassTheController and subscribe to us there with your Amazon Prime sub or with a paid sub. And you can, go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and buying yourself some sick swag. Follow us, of course, everywhere on social media at PassController, and all those things really beneficial to helping us grow the show. You're up, Todd. July.
So I'm going to make you guys do something that is fucking not normal for a movie theater. It's going to kind of be a pain in the ass. You're going to have to go to the movie theaters. No, I'm just not going to do it. I really wanted to.
Todd doesn't even go to the movie theaters.
I mean, okay. What
Yeah,
movie?
Todd, I went to go see fucking Dial of Destiny 2 days ago. Like, I'm going to the movies.
You saw Fool's Gold.
That's a different.
Fool's Paradise. I think it's.
I saw Fool's Paradise. Yeah.
We can talk about Dial of Destiny after. We got to wrap things up.
The movie I was gonna make you guys all see is Talk to Me, that new A24 horror movie that's coming out. But
I would love that.
I would love to go see that movie because that's the movie I'm gonna go see in the.
You know what's great is you can just go see it, and you don't have to do a podcast about it. You can just go see it, and you can enjoy it and let that live in your brain.
I narrowed it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. I just want to make sure you guys haven't seen any of these movies, and then I'm gonna decide on it. One has come up several times. Has anyone seen Goon?
No.
Yes.
I've almost picked it. Okay.
I have, yeah.
Has anyone seen Tenet? Because I still have not seen it.
I have not.
I've only seen it in Fortnite.
You haven't seen it?
No, didn't they play that movie in Fortnite? It's
it's
frozen in the best way. I kind of don't want to change it.
Yeah, don't change it. I can rewatch Tenet just because I don't know what the fuck happened to that film.
Yeah, no, I've never officially seen. It's like the only Nolan movie I haven't seen. Okay, Arrival. Any of you seen it?
I have not seen Arrival yet.
Which one's Arrival?
That's the
Dennis
Amy
Villeneuve.
Adams.
Yes,
Okay, no, I didn't see that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grand Budapest Hotel. It's the only Wes Anderson movie I haven't seen. Okay,
I have not seen it.
The Green Room.
I'd rewatch Grand Budapest if we're gonna do that though.
No, that's fine. Green Room.
I haven't seen any movie you have mentioned. You can just lock me down as I have not watched any of these because I haven't.
It's more for those guys.
The Green One's the one with Chekhov and Patrick Stewart.
What's it called? Patrick Stewart, yes.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson.
I don't think I've seen the whole movie, but I
and
have seen.
Tommy Wiseau.
And has anyone seen Pig?
No.
I have not.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like Grand Budapest is the winner out of these.
No,
Todd's gonna pick Pig.
Mike, I think Pig is already on the Google.
I'll check.
For me right now, it's between Arrival, Green Room, and Pig.
This is garbage.
Pig's supposed to be fucking amazing. Really.
I've heard good things about Pig. I think I already.
And it's not what you think it is either. Yeah.
I don't know what to think it is. I have no idea what it is.
Here's the problem, and I really want to pick.
You know who's in Pig?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I really want to pick Green Room, but I know that if I pick Green Room, Brendan's gonna just fucking say how much he hated it the entire fucking time.
I can talk honestly about something, and if I hate it, I'm going to talk honestly about it.
It's very suspenseful. So it's not.
It's on Hulu, Mike.
Just fucking pick it if you want to pick it.
It's on Max too.
Pig is on Hulu. Sorry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What to do?
Not that I need you to change your pick or anything, but Arrival has been on my to watch list for a while.
Todd, it's your pick. You could pick whatever you want, Todd. It's your pick.
I really I want to go with Arrival because none of you guys have seen Arrival, and Mike has seen it but doesn't really kind of remember it.
No, I've never seen Arrival. I've seen Tenet.
Oh,
I've seen Tenet.
So none of you guys have seen Arrival.
No.
Oh fuck yeah, let's do Arrival.
Wait, isn't that a sequel to Prometheus or something?
No, it's Dennis Villeneuve. It's a
sequel to Prometheus and Bob.
Oh. Okay.
I love.
Let's do Arrival. Arrival's a good pick, I think.
I unfortunately know a spoiler for the movie, but
I know a spoiler for the movie, but I think I also have
about it then.
kind
Honestly,
of.
even if you know that spoiler, though, it's yeah.
Yeah, I still want to see it, so I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right, there it is. Arrival is the PTC
Oh,
Movie
it
Club
is.
pick for July. So if you want to listen to us talk about that, we'll watch that and we'll talk about it at the end of
So I picked a bunch
July.
of Nolan films. Todd picks a bunch of Denis Villeneuve. Brian, what's your thing gonna be? Who are you gonna be picking movies by? Do you know who a director is?
Let's see. So I picked Willow and I picked Manchester by the Sea. So I guess I can go with things that are attached to cancellations. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a stretch, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't they cancel the Willow show?
They did,
And they pulled it from the fucking.
and they pulled it from Disney Plus.
I don't know. I might just keep doing movies that were filmed here, to be honest. But like, also the movie takes place in Massachusetts. We'll see.
Ooh, let's watch R.I.P.D.
Ooh.
That takes place in Massachusetts too.
I forget. I definitely seen the movie. We can do Night and Day. That was filmed here. I don't know if it took place here.
Yeah.
Central Intelligence.
Maybe we're not gonna do that. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it isn't fucking that.
It's not Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart.
They did film that here. They filmed it. I know they at least filmed a scene in the Commons
Yep, they did.
because I remember
They filmed a good portion of it in the parking garage for Cambridge Side Galleria.
I think I might have known that
Ooh,
too.
we're gonna do Paul Blart.
I think Brenden gets fucking
Good
spooky October, and he's fucking, won't even pick
Perfect.
a horror movie.
Blow it.
I'm
He's
gonna pick. I'm gonna pick a Christmas movie.
Hubie Halloween.
He's gonna pick Hubie.
Oh my God.
I was like,
No one's seen it besides me, right?
no.
I've seen it.
Perfect.
No, we have
Oh
taste.
baby. Oh,
One of my
thank you
favorite,
so
it's one of my
much.
favorite movies. So
We
should
are
definitely
going
pick
to
it.
Hubie the fuck out of Halloween this year. I can't
Did
wait.
anyone buy those Hubie Halloween? What was it? Curtains or something? What happened?
I'm pretty sure they're gone. So yes, I'm pretty sure
no.
someone has those in their house, in their
Oh,
weird Adam
no.
Sandler altar. All right. So there is your July pick. But that leaves us with the end of show game, which normally on an episode we would end with a video game related game. But because this is a movie episode, we will of course end with the movie game. The way this game works, I will read facts about a movie, whether it be genre, runtime, budget, actor stuff, until someone can get it correctly. Whoever gets first gets the point. The leaderboard for the year so far is Dom in first with 30, Todd in second with 29, and Mike in third with 19. Without further ado, movie number one.
I'm changing my movie. We're doing Beau is Afraid.
This
Not only will I give Brendan an Ari Aster movie, it's a 3-hour Ari Aster movie. So.
that I would have to see in a theater, so I'm definitely not.
No, it's out.
No,
it's
it's-
out.
Oh, great. I'm picking J-Dub 4. That's out now. My boy. I still haven't watched it. I need to watch it. Anyways,
I'll watch that.
this 1993 rated R film clocks in at 1 hour and 59 minutes.
Too long for Brenden, so he's never seen this movie.
1993. Hold on, I gotta place myself. All right, 1993. How
We
long
were
was
four.
that?
1 hour and 59 minutes.
I was 12, 13ish.
1993, 1 hour and 54 minutes. Rated R, you said?
Rated R.
I know this is the wrong year, but I'm gonna say Pulp Fiction right now.
Incorrect.
Blow it out.
I want to say it's
94.
97.
I
Oh,
think
94.
Pulp Fiction was like 94.
Is it First Blood?
Incorrect. This movie has received 10 nominations, including 1 win. The nominations are for... let's see here. We got... what was the win? Where's the win? The win is for... Newcomer of the Year, London Critics Circle Film Awards.
The fuck does any of that mean?
In 1994, it was nominated for the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss.
Mmm.
Oh, it's rated R too. Okay, I almost said stupid shit.
Hey, don't let anything. Don't let
You said it was
anything.
nominated 10 times?
Yes, for, let's see,
not
awards
bad.
at the 2020 Awards, the Key Art Awards, the IGN Summer Movie Awards, DVD Exclusive Awards, Fantasporto, Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films USA, MTV TV Awards, London Critics Circle Film Awards.
Best kiss.
Best Kiss in 1993.
You know it's going to be something ridiculous too.
Best kiss rated R.
Let's see. The 1994 MTV Movie Awards. Let's take a peek at the category for Best Kiss. In this category, other nominees included Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke in Reality Bites, Jason James Richter in Willie in Free Willy, Kim Basinger and Dana Carvey in Wayne's World 2, this actress and this actor in this movie, and the winner went to...
Oh, so it's not Free Willy with the whale.
Correct.
No, this was not rated R, surprisingly.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say,
the winner of that category was Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson in Indecent Exposure. Or, sorry, Indecent Proposal.
okay. Yeah, I have to hear more, I think, because I'm lost right now. I can't think of other movies that came around that time. I'm sure.
1993, I was too young to be watching rated R films. That being said, I'm pretty sure I saw Hackers in theaters, so do with that what you will.
Let's see. You may recognize the top billed actor from such things as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
Okay.
Very Bad Things, Broken Arrow.
Is it Die Hard?
Incorrect.
In 93, it would have been Die Hard 2, wouldn't it?
Is it Die Hard 2?
Incorrect.
I know, I didn't guess, so I
Best,
gave it to
best, you bet Best Kiss, though? How do you call like?
I don't.
Best
Yeah,
Kiss?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Wait, weirdly, is it Dances with Wolves?
Incorrect.
Because that's where I was heading. I was going.
That was gonna be my next pick. I was gonna pick the director's cut. It's 3 hours and 56 minutes long.
You may recognize at least one actor from the MCU who has appeared in many MCU films.
Oh, it's Die Hard 3.
Incorrect.
Was that the one that had Samuel Jackson in it?
Incorrect. Let's see. You may recognize the second billed actress from such things as Medium or Stigmata
The fuck is Medium?
or
Movie?
Boyhood or this film.
Oh wait, is it actually Hackers?
No, incorrect.
That movie's PG-13, even though it had like a bunch of stuff in it that I was like, whoa. When I saw that in the theater, I was like, oh, okay, this is PG-13. All right, Angelina.
Let's see here. The
Brenden, relax, dude. Don't get so angry. Why are you?
Mr. Simpson, no!
oh dear. The top billed actor, has been nominated for awards 20 times, including 8 wins. I don't see Oscars here, but does have
MTV Movie Awards.
Does have
multiple Best Kisses.
2 nominations and 1 win in the Critics' Choice Award category, and 2 nominations and 1 win in the Golden Globes category.
1993.
I'm so confused by one of the actors, and I don't want to say the name because I feel like I could give it away. I'm sure you guys already thought of this actor, but like,
it's not Jurassic Park, is it?
Incorrect.
That wasn't rated R.
The third billed actor you may recognize from such things as Speed, Blue Velvet.
Oh fuck! So that's easy right there.
Easy Rider, or Waterworld.
What? I was actually just gonna say Waterworld, but that's not car either. That's R.I.P.
The third billed actor has been nominated that doesn't make any sense. Nominated 17 times with 23 wins.
I would assume around this time period that this movie came out, so I'm at a loss right now. But I know like all the actors that you're saying. Oh, let me think.
Oh, it's a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, right.
It's not, but it sounds like Mike might know the third billed actor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
easy.
So the third billed actor is Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
What else can I say about this film?
Brendan's already frozen again. It's just fun to watch.
I don't understand. It was so good for so long, the back half of the episode.
You didn't say the top billed actor, right? Like we didn't.
I didn't say their name. I gave a lot of information about that person.
Fine. Okay.
This film
I already did.
has a 93% tomato meter and a 93% audience score. This 1993 crime drama.
I feel like Dennis Hopper was typecast in so many of these types of movies too, but The Kiss is throwing me off. The Best Kiss.
1993 crime drama.
Is it RoboCop?
I was thinking RoboCop too.
It
he
is
in that,
not
though?
RoboCop.
I couldn't remember if Dennis Hopper was a bad guy in RoboCop.
I couldn't
No,
either.
it was
'cause he
Kurt
like a
Kurt Woodsmith, the
Oh,
dad
yeah.
from
Yeah,
that
Kurt was.
70 Show. Yeah.
According to
I
Rotten
forgot he was in that.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, you might also like, if you like this film, Tower of London, The Big Lebowski, Dazed and Confused, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and The Call of Cthulhu.
What is the last one?
Let's see.
Sometimes we're so bad at these.
Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. pay
I'm not.
attention to
Yeah,
the
that
Best
doesn't.
Kiss.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's not going to help us at all.
No.
It's interesting to know, but I don't know if it's actually useful. But it's nice to know.
Would you rather know more information about the director or the writer of this film?
Writer.
Do we have a unanimous writer?
Writer? Why do we want
I
a
would
writer?
I would go with director, but I'm kind of curious to see why Todd wants to go with that writer.
I'm threading a needle right now, and I think I might have something, but I'm
All
waiting.
right, just go with the writer.
So you want to
Let's
give it to
go
Todd?
with
Okay.
Todd.
Yeah.
Well, there are
Todd.
two writers. I'll go with the one that is more helpful, I think. Let me just look at the other person.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I guess they are sort of both helpful.
So they write together?
It seems so. But the other person's name, I don't think I've ever heard, so I don't know if that name itself would help you. But their body of work might. You may know this writer, or, no, I can't. Let's see. This writer has 284 nominations, including 171 wins.
Wow.
Oh, that makes.
Wow.
I'm thinking only Oscars every time he says these things. I'm like,
Yeah.
If this page
It's
will
all
load,
garbage.
I can give you more information.
It's all like Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah.
He has 27 Best Kiss nominations, including.
The writer?
Oh, now I'm lost.
That was a fake stat. No, I'm lying.
Oh, okay. I was like- I had something. And I'm like, all right,
This
Broken
page
Arrow.
will not load. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Is
so
it
one of
hosted
the
on
actors-
Twitter?
I'm canceling out an actor that I thought it was from Broken Arrow. And Best Kiss
Wait.
though is fucking messing with me.
Why are you so worried about an MTV Movie Award that they didn't win? Why is that what's driving you insane? Free Willy was in that category.
Well, that's
Hold
the
on.
whole thing though. Like it's like it's like usually good movies aren't in the Best Kiss. It's always like goofy, like kind of like funny stuff. So it's like it's throwing me off a little bit that it's an R-rated movie at the MTV Movie Awards.
All right, I think
Best
you're
Kiss.
focusing on the wrong thing, but okay.
Yeah, quick sidebar real quick for Todd mostly, and maybe Dom if he has the answer. Is Broken Arrow the one that has John Travolta in it?
Yes.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, I was on YouTube, and every single time I refreshed my YouTube homepage, Broken Arrow, it's free on YouTube, and
on
it kept
camera,
getting
just so you know.
recommended to me
You can
every
come in, I
single
don't care
time I
if you're on
refreshed the
camera.
It's a
page.
pretty good movie. It's John Woo, I think too. I think John Woo did that.
Yeah. I've never watched it before, but that's the only reason why I knew about the films, because it kept being recommended to me.
But I don't think it's. No, I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm gonna help you guys.
For this writer, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Oscar nominations and 2 Oscar wins.
For what movies?
Is it True Romance?
It is indeed True Romance. Todd gets the point.
It's Kristen Slater. I knew it wasn't John Travolta. I didn't want to say that to you, but I fucking knew it was.
It is Christian Slater and Dennis Hopper and Patricia Arquette.
And what's his name wrote it? Fucking
Quentin Tarantino wrote it.
Quentin Tarantino, yes.
If I had given you the name Roger Avery,
I would have said it. If you gave no, I would have.
That's his co-writer apparently, or at least wrote some of these other movies with him.
I couldn't think of the name. I almost picked True Romance too, and I couldn't think of the name for like the last fucking 5 minutes.
I was gonna say From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, Roger Avery at least wrote Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs with him. I don't know if he writes other movies with him, but
I was watching something, a little off topic, super quick. In Dusk Till Dawn, Quentin Tarantino sucks on Selma Hayek's toes, and like that guy just is fucking.
The dude loves feet, and okay, you don't have to like put it everywhere. You can do that in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to like make fucking blockbuster films and be like, let's put some feet in here.
Oh, I haven't put feet in here. Take off your shoes and put your feet on top of this chair.
Put your feet on top of this chair and wiggle your toes around for me.
Yeah, right on the dashboard.
What is happening right now?
You're talking about your camera, or you're talking about us talking about...
Oh, my camera froze again.
Fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Feet.
Quentin's feet.
I am pulling up the next thing. I have a million tabs open right now. I think that
he did it at first as a joke, and then he actually just got into it a lot. He did it ironically at first, like, yeah, I'm going to put some feet here. And then he's like, actually, I'm fucking getting a little randy right now.
All right, Todd gets that point. Movie number 2. We got to speed it up because that took like 20 minutes. That was like a 20-minute, yeah. We were on great time. We were closing in on a nice cool hour, and boy.
This podcast be too long. Brent's going to hate it.
Exactly. This 2006 rated R film clocks in at that good. An hour and 28 minutes, not too long, not overstaying its welcome. It's right there. It's right there in that sweet spot.
Sure. It's going to be a horror movie then.
2006, rated R. I would have been 17, so I could see a rated R film. I'm going to go with Juno.
Incorrect. This movie was written and directed by the same duo. In case that was unclear, the same 2 people that wrote this film and directed it. I didn't want to say some other duo that we had previously mentioned or something. I feel like I said that weird.
Is it basketball?
Incorrect. This movie has 2 nominations and 2 wins, including 2007 winner for. Wait, what happened? What happened? I missed it. Oh, my face. This fucking thing.
Is it Team America World Police?
Incorrect.
Ooh.
No. Including a 2007 win for Best Specialty Stunt at the World Stunt Awards. 2006 winner for Most Offensive Male Character. And
I feel like we're on the right track.
And two different 2006 nominees for Golden Schmoes.
What's a golden?
Is it Orgasmo?
Incorrect. I don't know. I don't know what a Golden Schmo is.
Is there something?
Are we out?
Something about Mary?
I think I'm out of Matt and Trey movies because South Park was 99. South Park was 99.
You may recognize at least one of these actors from the Fast universe.
I feel like that's like fucking MCU for me at this point with all the fucking shit.
Is it Stuck on You?
Incorrect.
Oh, that's with Matt Damon, right? Yeah. That's where I'm going next.
Is Matt Damon in Fast and the Furious?
No, but Todd brought up the Farley brothers, so I just started
me,
trying to think.
Irene?
Incorrect.
Ah, damn it.
You may recognize the second build actress from such films as Rat Race.
Did you
Or
say the first build actor was in the Fast films, or did you just say an actor?
an actor.
Okay.
Rat Race.
Rat Race, or such films as Just Friends, or Interstate 60, Episodes of the Road.
Just Friends and Rat Race overlap.
Shit, I can't remember who the actual female lead of Just Friends was. I think
It was
Is it Road Trip?
Incorrect.
I know that the other one, that Britney Spears type character, was Anna Faris.
yeah.
So it could be Anna Faris, but I don't remember who the female lead of the film actually was, so I can't.
Oh, it's the House Bunny. The House Bunny.
Incorrect.
Ooh, Todd might be right.
Incorrect. You may recognize the third build actor from such films as Backdraft, or Runner, or Stronger.
Was Backdraft Stallone?
This is a tough one.
No. Backdraft is Kurt Russell
Kurt Russell.
and Baldwin.
Yeah, the
younger
fire,
Baldwin.
the forest fighter.
Yeah.
Forest
No,
fire.
it was firefighters.
Firefighters.
You may recognize one of these writer-directors from such films as this movie's sequel, Happy, television series that Todd bought comics for,
The one with Chris Maloney.
Yeah.
and Mom and Dad.
I don't know what that is.
So this movie had a sequel. It's a rated R, presumably comedy, because it didn't get a lot of nominations or whatever.
I'm assuming it's
And-
comedy. Yeah.
There is a vital piece of information I gave you early that I think would maybe tell you it's not a comedy, but
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I just because you
it,
said
it,
Just
it
Friends,
won
Rat Race,
it
all
won like
comedy
best
movies.
stunt or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know,
forgot
but
about that. Yeah.
that could have.
Yeah,
It
I feel like
could,
there were
it
some
could,
crazy
it could.
stunts in The Hangover.
I was gonna say V for Vendetta, but that's way longer than an hour and 28
And I
minutes.
picked a
I'm
film
thinking
with
it was
conjoined
Housekeeper.
twins. I imagine that they did something weird. And
You may recognize the top build actor from such things as the Fast Universe.
Oh, actually, I think I know what it is. Is it Crank?
It is indeed Crank. Mike gets a point after like a 10-week hiatus. Mike is back on the board, putting him at a cool 20.
Where did the Backdraft person come from?
The writer. One of the writers of the film.
Okay.
Wait, no, is that
And
it was either him or the third build actor is one of them.
I was third build actor. Because I was thinking it was Statham for a while when you said Fast, because I was like, I don't know, and then I couldn't think of anything. Crank. I would have never got Crank though.
I wish I had thought of Statham, because then I could have just started going through Statham movies.
I thought
couldn't think of any off the
someone
top of my
had
head.
Statham on the mind, and that's why when you had asked me, did you say top build actor? That's why I didn't say it, because I was like, I feel like that's gonna immediately point to him or, I don't know who else, but I think it would have narrowed it down too quickly. So I
probably wouldn't have
withheld
said Statham. I probably wouldn't have said Crank as quickly as I did, because I would not have thought of it offhand. But you did say sequel. I was like, oh yeah, Crank did have a sequel.
I had to look it up to see if he was in the sequel or if it was like, something else.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been, because I'm pretty sure in the first film he fell out of a plane.
I mean, I didn't like aggressively check it. I just saw that he was. It looked like he was on the cover.
He's definitely in it. I've
Okay.
seen both films. I'm just saying that he shouldn't have been in the second one because he fell out of a plane.
He should, yeah.
Isn't
he should have
that
been a lot of
isn't
times
like
in
the point of like the plot of that movie, like he has like something in his heart, and if he stops doing stuff, he dies. Or is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Movies are fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why I play
Too many.
video games, because they are not stupid at all. They don't have ridiculous plots at all.
Well, pick your third movie.
We are about to lock in that third movie right now. You do need to give me the full title of this film.
Oh, so it's a sequel.
Team America
Team
World
America
Police.
World Police.
Damn it.
This 2003 PG-13 film. Has
Was
a
the first one
runtime.
2003 too?
It has a runtime. Huh?
Oh no, never mind. It was 93. I was like, was it 2003? Sorry, go on.
You
Has a
may
runtime.
recognize
Wait, you're not going to tell us the runtime?
at some point.
Ooh.
A runtime that's important to the movie.
All right, we're skipping it. We're skipping it.
Oh, it's 88 minutes.
We're skipping it.
What was it? Was Mike right?
No, but I'd be fast on the clickers tonight because people are ready to get points. This 2003 film was nominated 124 times. Okay, so it must split these things now. It was nominated
Wait, are we doing the
124
same movie,
times.
or-
Are we
Same
still
movie.
doing this?
Same movie.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And it has
Okay.
213 wins, including
Oh,
12
it's,
Oscar wins.
Is it
It's-
gone? Oh, Oscars. Oh, yeah.
It's Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
It is indeed Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, which is why I did not tell you that it was a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah, as soon as he was like, I started putting the pieces together. It's like, oh, it's got Oscars. Oh, Brenden won't tell us a runtime. It must have been fucking either super short or more likely super long.
I thought it had something to do with the title of the movie or something.
I switched the film because we are way too long, and I was hoping someone was going
What
to
was
get
it-
that
what
quick,
other
not
film were you
super
gonna
quick. Don't
Why
worry,
don't you just do the other movie too?
I'm gonna pocket
What
it for
if
another
we-
time.
What if we actually took a long time? What if you're like, it had it had actors from the previous 2 films of this series and actors who appeared in a sequel to the series. The sequel was called The Hobbit.
Wow. No, but that does bring to a good point. We're at the midpoint of the year, and I had at the beginning of the year promised that we would do probably more frequently game show spin-off episodes, and I don't think we have done that once. So now that we are at the middle point of the year, we will probably sometime in July do the bare minimum an extended game show portion so that we can make the scoreboard a little more interesting. Well, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, we are ending the week with a first place tie between Dom and Todd at 30, and Mike scooping up 2 little points tonight, putting him at 21. So 9 points, not that far away from catching up.
Hey, listen, I just made blackjack.
Mike,
Boom.
just sweep every week in July, and that puts you right in first, my guy. That's all you gotta do. That's all you
Yeah,
gotta
but
do.
the next couple weeks are all going to be video games, and I don't play video games.
I don't know. You're a big
don't
Final
watch mo-
Fantasy guy now. You're a big
You don't
Final
play-
Fantasy guy now.
Yeah, fucking Sid and Bahamut.
Mike,
I don't know.
I'm going to pick Pizza Tower next week, Final Fantasy 16, and
Right.
and Multiverses. So just remember that for next week. Okay? Don't tell them I told you. Oh shit, we're still recording. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 376. We will see you next time.